Hello friends, I am the last minute professor. In this video, we shall discuss about finding factorial of a number using Python. I'm going to explain three methods. First approach, using built-in function. Second approach, using recursion. Third approach, using iteration. Technically, built-in functions are predefined ready-to-use functions. If you are a newbie to programming, let me tell you a real life example. Built-in functions are like instant noodles. Grab a pack of noodles, just add hot water to it, your delicious meal is ready. Similarly, here, import a module which contains the explanation of the ready-made function and just make a call. It will return the result for you. Simple, isn't it? To find factorial of a number, first let us get the number from user. Input function gets input as a string. So use int function to convert it into an integer. We have a built-in function called factorial that calculates factorial of any number passed to it. This function is explained in math module. So to use this function, we need to import math, just like grabbing your pack of noodles. Then just call the function. There is a standard way to call module name dot function name. So here math dot factorial of. Pass the value for which you want to find factorial within brackets. This will return the result. Use print function to display the result. So this is the code. Let me paste this code, save and run. I'm giving input as 5. I get the output as 120. Simple, isn't it? Now let us do the same without using inbuilt function. I have already explained the step-by-step process for finding factorial using recursion and iteration. If you haven't watched that video, you can find the link in the description below. It explains the pseudocode line by line with an example to find 5 factorial using the following two approaches, that is recursion and iteration. Here, first I'm just going to convert the pseudocode for finding factorial using recursion into Python program. I'm going to define my own function called fact to calculate factorial. In Python, a function should be defined before it is called. A function definition does not run on its own unless it is called. So I'm leaving some space for function definition. Let me get the user input, call the function fact by passing this input and store the value it returns in f, print the value of f. Now let us get back to the space we left for function definition. The first line of the function definition is known as function header. The syntax for function header goes like this. Use the keyword def followed by the function name. Here it is fact. Then within parentheses, mention the parameter. That is the variable that holds the value passed during the function call. So here I am keeping it as n. So n will hold the user input that is passed. Kindly note here you need not mention the data type of n. Then followed by a colon. After the function header comes the function body. All the statements to be executed when the function is called are to be indented. In other words, same amount of spacing must be given before we start any line in the function body. At least one space should be given. If I give one space, I should give one space before every line in the body of the function. If two, constantly I should start with 2 spaces. Generally, programmers prefer tab space because just by pressing one key, it gets beautifully aligned and it improves the readability of the program and helps in understanding the program easily. So now let us look into the body of the function. So here this pseudocode has been written with an assumption that the user gives a value of n, that is non-negative value. So in that assumption only, here the logic has been written as if n value is 0 or 1, return 1, else return n into factorial of n minus 1. Okay, so how to code this? So for checking a condition, we are using if. So you have to give it as if n equal to 0 or n equal to 1. For checking equality condition, we normally use double equal to, and the line ends with a colon. Now, the statements that are to be executed when this condition is true, that is when n value is either 0 or 1, must be given with a space, that is it must be indented. So here I have just only one line, return 1. So it must be given inside that. Okay. So now, what to do if n value is not 0 and not 1? So in that case, if the value of n is not 0 and not 1, else part will get executed. So else is a keyword followed by a colon. So if that condition is true, what must be done? Return n into factor of n minus 1. So let me copy paste this code, save it and run it. I'm giving the input as 5. I get the output as the factorial is 120. That's it. The last approach that we are going to deal with is finding factorial using iteration. Iteration is repeating some statements. So here what we are going to do is, we are going to get a number from user, then to find factorial, say for example, if we need to find 5 factorial, what we are going to do is, we are going to multiply the numbers from 1 to n, that is 1 into 2 into 3 into etc. up to n. So for that purpose, first let me get the input from user. So n is equal to int of input of enter the number. Then what I'm going to do is assume f as 1. So I'm going to use the variable f to hold the value of the answer. So I'm assuming it as 1, because if I'm going to multiply any number with 1, it is not going to make any difference in the calculation. That is why here I have assumed the value of f as 1. Then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to multiply f by 2, then update it in f. Then multiply the current value of f by 3 and update it in f. And I will continue this process till n for finding n factorial, so that I can do that 1 into 2 into 3 into etc. up to n. So for this purpose, I'm initializing a variable I as 2. So for multiplying from 2 to n, so while this I value is less than or equal to n, so followed by a colon, now what I'm going to do is find f into I and update it in f. Then increment the value of I by 1. So by the end of this loop, the factorial value will be computed and it will be stored in the variable f. So just print f after the while loop. So I'm copy pasting this code and saving it and running it. I'm giving the same input and I get the same output. That's it. To encourage this work, hit like. If you find this video useful, do share with your circle of friends who can be benefited. Don't forget to subscribe to stay tuned. Leave your valuable feedback in the comment section. Thank you for watching.